Hey Ra, Maya Paveza, aka Maya Ari Guru here, and this is the first post in the new series, sort of What's Your Story? I think that's what Levina was calling it. Um, I'm not even sure, but I've been using the hashtag OWNIT for a while, and my mantra since my early 20s when I started working in technology was always that I owned my mistakes, I owned who I was, and um, if I made a mistake, I owned up to it essentially because then there was no doubt of credibility. And nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes, but um, being yourself, being comfortable with who you are is really important and very much so for young people. Statements like, I'm so stupid from kids, things like that more or less are asking for validation from outside should never be happening. They should find the validation within and the confidence to believe in themselves and their ability. And I think that's key for everybody. There is an epidemic of pleasantries and niceties in our country, and it's not that we should be harsh or rude, but we should be forthright and admit that in order to grow and evolve, we have to all make mistakes, and that is part of the process of life. So, it's sort of a circuitous way of talking about it, but essentially, um, we are who we've become by the experiences that have molded us throughout our lives. And I think that there's a lot of problems with confidence in people, whether young, old, whatever the case may be. And being comfortable with yourself allows you to be confident and allows you to try to do things. And I think there's a problem too with people mistaking confidence for ego. They're not the same, they're not synonymous. Um, I think that if you're confident, you can also be humble. And I'm sure you can be confident and you can be an egomaniac. Some people develop narcissistic disorders and other people just sociopaths, whatever. There's so many different things, but I mean, I'm not a psychologist. Yes, my dad's a psychiatrist. My two uncles are psychiatrists. I took enough psychology. It's probably genetically, which is why I avoided it. It's probably like in me. But um, I enjoy observing situations, people, interactions, and kind of having a sense of what's going on behind it. And sometimes it just bothers me. And I think one of the biggest inspirations for me is my own child, or both of my girls actually, and that is when they went to school, one of the things I always said to Katerina was, I want you to raise your hand and I want you, when called upon, to shout out the answer, even if it's the wrong answer, because you will never forget the right answer, but at least you tried. And don't let anyone else affect you and how you feel about yourself. And the kind of peer pressure that happens, and she's 8, is a little ridiculous. Like, I gave her grain bread this summer at camp and she wouldn't eat her sandwich because her friends were making fun of her, and I said, well, tell them it's healthier, and your mom obviously cares about you a whole lot. Does theirs? I mean, maybe that's not right and nice, but kids need to just stop. People need to be more supportive, people need to be honest, and people need to be forthright with each other. um, there's this tendency towards passive aggressive behaviors and actions, and I don't know that people are always aware that they're doing them, but you can't succeed unless you fail. You cannot grow unless you've had lessons to bring you forward in development. And that's kind of part of what this is all about, is what's your story, um, how are you evolving, and a lot of information about me that people don't really know. um, I call it the Confidence Project, and it's something I've been working on for a few years. So, interesting story, and there will be some written blogs and some video, but just wanted to welcome you guys to the new corner here on Raw. So join us at realestateandwomen.net and see how it evolves. But the goal here is to help people feel confident and comfortable in their own skin, no matter who. So if we all are trying our best and being our best and being genuine and real people, then guess what? It's just going to be a better place. So thank you, and see you next week.